It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. Disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Sometimes I ask myself, why do men tend to run to defense and protect rich, powerful men when they're caught being predators, when they're caught being abusive, when they're caught trafficking, when they're caught doing disgusting things, being a disgusting human being? And yeah, there's one side that sometimes people lie about allegations. Sometimes people are just trying to attack someone or blackmail out for a payday. But I don't really think that's it. I think sometimes there are some men out there and some women who almost don't actually care that these men are abusive. They don't care that they're trafficking. They don't care if they're predators. They don't care if they're assaulters. There's a part of a population that actually believes that those are the perks of being rich and powerful. Because why else would you want to be rich and powerful? You want to be rich and powerful so you can have influence, so you can live unlike anyone else, meaning you can break the law and get away with it. You can be abusive. You can assault women. You can traffic people and you can get away with it. That's just sort of the world of being rich, powerful, and famous. Those are the rewards of rich, powerful alpha men. So to them, they're like, well, this is what we're supposed to be able to do. And you're not supposed to care. The victims aren't supposed to cry about it. And if they are, we're supposed to be able to send our minions to attack them and just call them gold diggers.
Clear that 99% of laws only apply to the brokies, and that we live in a system now in the world where most things can be solved with money.
Yeah.
If you can fix a problem with money, either by buying a good lawyer or by paying a fine or by bribing a judge, then you don't have to fear the repercussions of X, right? So what I'm saying is they make a law and the broke people have to abide or they go to jail, but the rich people get to break the law and just buy their way out of it.
Yeah.
So most crimes are socioeconomic crimes. Rich people are allowed to commit the crimes and poor people are not. So anyway, the point I'm making is you're unique, but you're not important. You need to become important. Once you become important and you become rich, then you can ignore laws. Laws don't apply to me. I go out this house. I leave this house, right? I get up. I leave the house. I get out the house. I do whatever I want. Because if the police come and say you're not allowed to do that, I'll say, call my lawyer or give me a fine.
Yeah.
Either way, you ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna be on the next Emergency Live sitting there with the blicky, with the diamond. You cannot stop me.
You know what you are? You're a clown.
I'm a clown?
You're a clown. Okay?
Really?
Your whole life is a joke.
There's probably still men out there who wants to stick up for him. It's not because they think he's innocent. They don't care about the crime. They don't care about the abuse because to them, rich, powerful men are supposed to get away with this. That's the perk. Why else do you want to be rich and famous? Why else do you want to have influence? Because you want perks. You want the shit that goes along with that. That means getting away with shit. When the allegations of Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs first came out, there were, for the most part, people believed Cassie, his ex-girlfriend slash ex-wife slash person he groomed when she was 15 years old, because in some ways, she's the perfect victim. She's been unproblematic. She's never been into any trauma. She's not a sex worker, so people feel more empathetic towards her, right? So she was the perfect victim. A lot of people tended to believe her. But there were also people who defended P. Diddy, mostly men, and mostly men sort of in that industry.
I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
R. Kelly issued a warning to anyone who was making fun of Diddy's recent home raids and criticized both the investigation and the reactions of others. He said, bleeps out there laughing and making comedian jokes and doing all the other bleep on the radio and everything else, but they could be next. He also said he does not believe any of the accusations.
Because I think for a very long time, it was sort of an open secret that these are just the things that these men do and they can get away with it. But now we have 4K in real life video evidence of P. Diddy's disgusting behavior and his abuse towards Cassidy. It's one thing of like knowing that the abuse happened because you heard the allegations, you heard the testimony, and you believe it. But there's another thing in seeing it. Seeing another human being, a grown man that's supposed to protect you and love you and care for you. He's supposed to protect you from harm. He's supposed to protect you from violence. He's supposed to protect you from predators. And he is that to you. He is your monster. So it's one thing to see it in real life. It is something really traumatizing to see another human being behave that way towards another human being. Even someone like me who's experienced about 8 to 10 years of extreme physical abuse, I can understand and empathize what Cassidy was going through at the time because I was there. There are people who were commenting in the comment section of some of the Instagram posts I've seen as, why didn't she fight back? Why didn't she throw hands? If that was me, that couldn't be me. I wouldn't just be laying there. You don't know what you would have fucking done unless you were in that situation. Because I remember having my head kicked in by my abuser, and the only thing I could do was protect my skull and wait till it was over. It's called surviving. And also these men who or sometimes women, but it's usually mostly men, let's be honest, who will excuse another man's abusive behavior because their victim stayed. Well, if he was so bad, why did they stay? If he was so bad, why did they just hang around for years and years and years? If he was so bad, why are these pictures and videos of them looking happily together if he was so bad? You would understand if you've ever been in an abusive relationship. Sean Combs came out with an horrible apology video talking about how sorry he was, that he's asked God for forgiveness but didn't actually say sorry towards his victim. He went to rehab, he got counseling, the whole script that most of these celebrities and sometimes influencers go through to make you feel like they're actually sorry for their bad behavior and not sorry that they get caught. He's not sorry. And the reason why we all know he's not sorry, because he would have never lied about his behavior in the first place. He talks about how disgusted he was with himself in the moment that he was kicking his victim. He felt disgusted with himself, but not disgusted enough not to pay the security guard 50 grand to cover it up, to get the footage, to hide it. Not disgusted enough not to call his victim a liar. Not disgusted enough to make himself the victim and not the people that he harmed. Not disgusted enough to walk himself into a police station and turn himself in. Not disgusted enough to sit there in the same apology video and also admit to all the other disgusting abusive behaviors he's been accused of. He's disgusted, but just not enough. I mean, just a few months ago, he put out a statement that he's so sick and he's not going to sit by and wait for people to drag his name and drag his legacy, saying his victim was just out for a quick money grab, where he's the one who settled the case fairly quickly because he knew he was guilty. He wasn't disgusted enough then to say, she's right, she's telling the truth, that is who I was, and most likely that is who I am today. He wasn't disgusted with his behavior enough, again, to make himself the victim of this. Even in the apology video, it's, I'm the victim. I was going through a dark place. I was in a bad headspace. Poor me. No, if you were really disgusted, there will be no excuse of, I was in a bad place at the time. It's just, I was a monster. I abused her. I was violent. Not, oh, I was in a bad place. I had a bad headspace. All this bullshit. P. Diddy is never going to be able to come back from this. And this is what I'm very happy about. Whether it's a conspiracy that the man is out to get him and bring him down or whatever, his behavior is his behavior. And if he wasn't a disgusting human being, there will be no skeletons to expose or bring him down. This is called karma. Karma. When I was in church, my mom used to always say, she's very religious, was it done in the dark, God always makes sure it comes to the light. And that's what this is. I hope that his victims can get some peace now that they know the world sees him for who he is. It's always been out there. It's always been on the streets, the rumor about P. Diddy and his weird or disgusting behavior. But now we all know, we see it in 4K, it's in video. We believe the victims. And yeah, are there some opportunists out there that might lie and jump on the trend and say they were one of the victims where there weren't? Probably. But for the most part, we see who he is. And I hope the fact that the world now sees the monster that he is, they can get some peace from that. Next time someone says someone did something to me, don't use the excuse of, well, if he was so abusive, why didn't you say anything then? Why didn't you go to the police then? Why didn't you run away then? Because again, you don't understand unless you are also a victim of abuse, unless you're also in an abusive relationship. If you are, or if you were, you get it. You know why people stay. It's not because they love the abuse, Pearl. An idiot talking about women like to be cheated on because they stick around. No, people don't stick around because they like the abuse. It's just survival, or grooming, or brainwashing, or indoctrination, or whatever you want to call it. This is his legacy. This is your legacy, P. Diddy. When you die, this is what people will remember you for, and this is what you deserve. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell to get a notification when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm. And you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.